Hi, I'm Janine Edovas. Welcome to Superhero School. This project all started with the audience, children on the autism spectrum. So I looked at what museums are doing and found that they're offering early morning sensory friendly programs. So while that's good because it's usually free, it is limited because it happens only on a weekend, usually an hour before the museum opens to the public. And I found that they're very focused on accommodating sensory sensitivities. So I thought that there's an opportunity there. So based on my research, I found that to be able to engage children on the spectrum, it has to be according to their interests. So all of us have interests, but autistic children, they get really intense when it comes to interests. So I thought of tapping into that. And also, I'm hoping the experience would help increase their self-esteem because we're looking at their unique abilities, their strengths, and not trying to correct their deficits. So for the key concept, I thought about strengths, and that led me to the superhero and superpower narrative. So I thought about all of these key concepts under that, the experience that would like the kids to have, as well as how I would like to educate the adult audience as well, and hoping that they all come out having a different outlook when it comes to children on the spectrum, a more positive one. So this exhibition, Superhero School, is not your typical school. It is where kids of diverse cognitive abilities discover and harness their strengths, where they learn that being different is a superpower. So um, if you're a superhero, you have to be saving the day, right? So I thought it would be relevant that they save the earth from climate change. It's something that's inevitable and a topic that's slowly being taught even in preschool level. And then also based on research, I found that children on the spectrum naturally gravitate towards systemizing domains such as STEM. So these are the messaging that I would like to communicate in the exhibition. So it's different for kids. It's about fun, saving the earth, doing the activities that they like. They're not realizing they're actually learning. And then for adults, it's about neurodiversity, the different cognitive abilities that children on the spectrum may be very good at. And I'm hoping that they would realize if they have this specific strengths, then they could later on in the future be turned into STEM careers. Experience-wise, there will be two entry points, but then as they get to the center, where all the STEM activities are, they get to choose what activity to do and in the order that they like. And then after doing that, they go to this area where they get to discover their superpowers and also have a chance to have a more social play with other kids, and then end with a graduation. So as I mentioned, the primary audience are children on the spectrum. They're very young because at ages 4 to 8, this is when parents get to learn about the that the kid is on the spectrum, and it would be helpful to have a space where it's not about therapy, it's about learning about their strengths. And also would like to include children who are non-autistic. The venue and the client is the New York Hall of Science, which is fitting because it's STEM and it's in Queens where it has a very diverse population. And my education experience goals, I was able to touch on them as well earlier. And what's key here is I want kids to have a sense of pride in who they are after coming out of this experience. So for the graphic look and feel, I was inspired by the path and the shape of the hexagon. And the colors, it's a rainbow colors except yellow and red, which could be overstimulating. And it's a muted version of the rainbow minus those colors I just mentioned. And for large surfaces, the backgrounds, they're grays or just tinted versions of the main color scheme. And also use a lot of the icons. So just view of the entire color palette, the choice of typeface, the italics shows movement and speed. And of course, for body copy, it has to be more legible. This is how the graphics would look like for the adults, the look and feel. This is how it would translate for them, and this is for the kids. And you see here the area introduction panels in different heights, having different messages for the adults and the kids. And of course, to be able to go to the experience, there will be wayfinding graphics to help you become aware of this exhibition as well as guide you to get to the destination, to the venue. So in the subway, there's this poster and then the S beside the other subway lines. And when you get to the train, you still see that poster. When you get off the train, you see the S on the floor. And this serves like a bat signal calling all superheroes. So since the exhibition is opening in January, it gets darker earlier. So when they're there around 4, they can see this projection, a bat signal type of projection that shows the logo. Okay, so this is an axonometric view of the space. As I mentioned, there are 2 entrances. This is where the main STEM area activities are, and there are areas for calming sensory rooms here, and then another one there. This one is Gallery of Inspiration, where they can see portraits of people who are successful, who are on the spectrum. And this is the ellipse, where I will be talking about this in more detail as we go along. So this is the entrance. This is where they start the experience. They claim their wristband that's RFID powered. It's supposed to track their progress so that in the end, they will know their superpower. The stations are of varying heights. Here they get to choose their avatar, enter their preferences in terms of language or audio, and the like. And then similar to what they saw outside, the bat signal, this S, they scan their RFID bracelet here to start the activity and also to be able to monitor their results. This is one of the first areas that they would see, the mission orientation, the science area at the back. This is a game that makes use of their ability to recall. It's a picture matching game that shows animals and plants. This area is science and it's about biodiversity. It also chooses the levels of difficulty. This is at the center for circulation, but there's also an interactive element here. It's like Google Maps, but instead of a flat tablet, they get to zoom in and out using the sphere. And it can also change display to show different weather conditions. This is a view from the back where you see on the left, this is the orientation area, same as what I showed earlier. This is the math recycling center where they get to learn about sorting and counting. At the back, it's about robotics for agriculture. That's a tech area. And a closer look of the engineering space where they get to practice building. At the left, it's about building a flood wall. The water is projected. When they place and build the blocks in the correct spot, the water will move away from the buildings, from the apartment buildings. And this one is building a wind turbine farm. It's about building structures for renewable energy. They get to assemble the wind turbines, and then when they position them on the spot where they should be on the table, it would light up the little houses at the center. So just some views of that, technical drawings. This is a top view of that in elevation, as well as some rendered views of the same orthographic views I just showed. And then a closer look at the math recycling center. That's how it's gonna look like in plan view. There are 3 spots for each of the categories of recyclables. An elevation view of that, and also a rendered view in plan, as well as elevation. Okay, so after doing all those activities, they get to this room, the elliptical room, where they discover their superpower. So they scan their RFID wristband here, and using the avatar that they chose at the start, that will appear, but now will be in the costume according to the superpower that they have, according to the activities they did, how they performed. So imagine how that would make a child feel, knowing that you're very good at something, and it's also going to be something that the adults could maybe, oh, they didn't realize that their kid is strong in this area. Then it's something that they can really focus on moving forward, even outside this experience. And then, as I mentioned, there's going to be a sensory room. This one is inside the elliptical room, and there's a plasma ball, plasma globe in the middle, for those that would crave more of tactile and visual. And also, it's an opportunity to learn about electricity. And finally, since most of the activities are more individual, this one will allow the kids to play with other children as well. Knowing their superpower, for example, they're good at building, they will be given shapes that would help them create structures, for example, a house, which they can customize and then color and then send to the screen, and that will be animated. And aside from that, they can also approach the screen. It's interactive projection, and they can, for instance, let the flowers bloom, let the trees bloom, and let the wind turbine rotate. And finally, what's a school without a graduation, right? So here they get to have their graduation pictures, wearing their costumes. There's also an option to do a virtual filter in case they don't want to wear those costumes. And because they checked in at the start, created an account, they'd be able to access their photos and get a report of how they did in the activities, and also suggestions on how to nurture those strengths that they learned in this experience. So that's it. Thank you so much. I hope this experience has made you think of how can we further engage children on the spectrum. It's not just about toning down the sound and the light. It's going beyond that, really thinking about how can we actually engage them in this experience so that they see that they are capable, and they are unique, and they are strong. They're superheroes. Thank you so much.